The Substance, a corrosively vicious horror satire with a career-resuscitating turn by Demi Moore, begins with an inspired if not very kind joke. You're looking down the Hollywood Walk of Fame as a fresh, five-pointed plaque is being laid into the pavement. It's a polished marble testament to a beloved actress named Elizabeth Sparkle. Then years go by. Hey, Sparkle's star is ignored, neglected, desparkled. Passers-by step on it with no thought of the name beneath their hurrying feet. You probably couldn't come up with a more stinging metaphor for how fame, for all its sensation and glitter, ultimately becomes a tombstone. Seen any Greta Garbo movies lately? Elizabeth Sparkle, in short, is a has-been, and she's played by a fearless Moore, who's obviously up for a career gamble. Substance, directed by Coralie Fargeet, takes her into the undignified realm of schlock horror, otherwise known as the final resting place of Joan Crawford and Bette Davis. Yet, oddly enough, the film is an absurdly grotesque study of how women are pressured to preserve their youth at punishing, humiliating cost. Is also a chance for Moore to prove herself at comedy. She succeeds. Her performance is an escalating howl of panic and desperation that's also acidly sarcastic and ludicrously funny. It's possibly the best, if strangest, work of her long career. Now middle-aged, Elizabeth has sunk down to a modest career plateau as the host of a morning exercise show. She appears to be close to physically flawless, but the boys in charge have decided she's too old, so she's sacked by a loathsome executive played by Dennis Quaid, a red-faced, sexist, boisterously loud brute dressed in an orange suit. He could be the manager of the Oompa Loompas, and they would quit. Then Elizabeth, broken in spirit, gets a tip. She should look into a black market experimental program, The Substance, which promises in ominously vague terms as some kind of magical rejuvenation. She bites. The Substance, it turns out, is a complicated protocol of injections that must be followed to the letter. Even though the instructions are so confusingly minimal you might as well be assembling a DIY dining room set. Elizabeth gives herself an injection, at which point her backside rips open like a cleaved ham. Out spills a completely different, smashingly attractive young woman, Margaret Wally. According to the rules of The Substance, Elizabeth will now pass a week in deep slumber, fed intravenously, while Sue, as this creature calls herself, is out in the world, having fun and being appreciated for her youthful beauty and zest. Then they'll swap places, but Sue, having taken over Elizabeth's now available TV job and savoring her own drive to stardom, disobeys the program, leaving her creator comatose on the floor of closet. This has gruesome results for poor Elizabeth. First her index finger goes gray and dead, then, well, things get way worse, as Moore shrieks in anger and disgust. Ultimately the movie's body horror goes too far. Don't forget to bring your fingers, your eyes will thank you. You might wonder why so little pity is shown for Elizabeth, whose only sin is to be shallow and want to keep her looks and career. The movie, which ends on an incredibly cruel note of irony, could use more of the mournful empathy of director David Cronenberg's best work, including The Fly. When all is said, is there really that wide a difference between the ordinary and the grotesque? Still, Moore is pretty damned great at this. Could almost be her Fly. The Substance is in theaters now.